Well, here we are then, guys. The business end of the Champions League is here. 8 teams left. 8 teams do remain. 8 quality teams do remain. We're here for not only the quarterfinal predictions, not only the semi-final predictions, but the final prediction. These are my final Champions League predictions, guys. I'm going to tell you who's going to win the whole thing. We're going to go game by game. And we're going to go who's going to go through from each game and who will win the whole Champions League this season. So make sure you guys hit like buttons up. Let's try and smash 25 likes. And I want to know your thoughts down below. Bias aside as well, because I'm an Arsenal fan. So there'll be no bias. I promise, guys. This is real talk. Why this is very real. Who I think will win the Champions League this season. We're going to go through every single game. So let me know your thoughts down below and who will win the Champions League. That's all we need is one team. Let me know, guys, who will win this year's UEFA Champions League. But let's get right into things today. So we do start, of course, with Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid as they face up against the Germans, Borussia Dortmund. And yeah, this game could go. It could honestly go either way, guys. This is going to be a crazy game. Very hard for me to predict this one, guys. I'm sure it is for you guys as well. And I'll tell you why. I mean, let's start with Atletico Madrid. We saw what they did to Inter Milan this season. We saw how they beat Inter Milan. We know how they set up. They got an elite manager in Diego Simeone, and playing at home in Madrid at La Wanda Metropolitano, it is a very, very difficult place to go to and get a win. Very difficult, or even get a good result. I mean, we saw against Inter, obviously, but we've been seeing this year in year out for Simeone is they've not lost a game at home in Europe in years, guys. It's an absolute fortress, and I do not see Dortmund getting anything in the home leg at all. We all know about how they set up Atletico. We all know how about their manager. He's been in this big stage before. He's gotten to many finals, Champions League finals, as we know. He knows how to win these types of knockout stages, and he knows how to get through the knockout games. So that's for me one of their biggest factors is Simeone. The way how they play, they are physical, very, very physical side, as we know. They make it hard, very frustrating for teams. And they're not. People say, "Oh, they only sit back." They don't. They can attack as well. Griezmann, unbelievable player. People call this guy finished. He's nowhere near finished. This guy is still doing the business, still to this day. Alvaro Morata, on his day, can turn up. You got players like they're attacking sort of wing backs of Lino, Riquelme as well. You got some fantastic players in there. Rodrigo De Paul in the midfield. The defense, Jimenez, Stefan Savic, Hermoso as well. Jan Oblak in goal. We cannot forget this guy in the penalty shootout was superb. Jan Oblak is still a world-class goalkeeper. So there we go. Atletico. For me, I favour them. But let's talk about Dortmund, because Borussia Dortmund are very slept on this Champions League for sure, I think. I understand they're fifth right now in the Bundesliga, but when it comes to Champions League, they are a different side. You guys cannot forget they finished top of the group. They finished top of the group in the group of death with PSG, AC Milan, and Newcastle. They finished top of the group, and they got past. They eventually got past PSV in the round of 16, and now they've made it to the last day. When it comes to Champions League for Dortmund, they're totally different sides how they are in the Bundesliga. Of course, they got some great players we know as well. They got some experience at the back. They got some experienced centre backs in Mats Hummels and Niklas Süle as well. They've been especially Mats Hummels. He has experience of playing on this big stage, and Süle is a good centre back as well, as we know. If you go to their midfield, you saw like some Marco Reus still playing, Julian Brandt.
Huh? Who's that?
Sorry, Julian Brandt still playing. Obviously, they attack as well. They've got some great attacking players, attacking threat. Like some Marlon, Donye Marlon, great player. Ademi, you've obviously got Fulkrug as well, who is excellent for Werder Bremen. You've got the likes of Jadon Sancho, as we know, who obviously has came back now to Borussia Dortmund. after a disappointing spell at Manchester United, and he obviously did score against PSG last game out. And yeah, so they do have some great players, man. And I think they're going to give Atletico a great game, but I do see one winner for me, and that is going to be Atletico. The first leg's at home. I see them getting a very good advantage going into the second leg away at Dortmund, but I do see Atletico progressing for me. So, guys, next up, we have a massive game, PSG against Barcelona. Of course, a repeat of that crazy comeback. 2017, PSG 4-0 first leg, Barcelona 6-1 second leg. Unbelievable comeback, as we know, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my lifetime. Barcelona there was Barcelona, wasn't it? But this game for me is I mean, I look through the fixtures in these quarterfinals, and this has to be for me the toughest one to predict. 100% this one here is. I'm just in two sort of minds who I'm going to go with. At one stage, I'm saying Barcelona, but then I'm looking at PSG and thinking, no, PSG will do it. Where do we start with this, guys? Let's start with PSG themselves. Manager, of course, Luis Enrique, coming up against his former club. He did manage and was so successful with winning Champions League with them already. But Luis Enrique returns to face Barcelona. And I said it this season with Luis Enrique, what I love is he's sort of rebuild PSG a lot. They got rid of some of their key players, Neymar, Messi left. And then he signed, 11 players in the summer window. Players like Ousmane Dembele, of course, returns against his former club. Bradley Barcola, who's looking very, very good. Of course, Skriniar as well. He had a whole rebuild of, signings and of players, Kolo Muani as well, who had a decent World Cup. And I know he missed that chance, but he still had a good World Cup. So that's what I like about Luis Enrique and of course you got Mbappe. He sort of built the team around Mbappe, to say the least. And there's only a selective few who's really stayed on with him, like Hakimi, Donnarumma in goal. But then many of the players who were playing for him, like Marco Verratti, Messi, Neymar, they all, Sergio Ramos, they all moved on. So yeah, I do respect the rebuild that he's done with PSG. Of course, we know that they're doing their thing in Liga this season and in the Champions League as well. They haven't looked too bad, but they have. I mean, there's certain games where we look at them and question them. The Newcastle game, for example, when they got absolutely destroyed by Newcastle, that 4-1 game. Nobody expected that. But then obviously you had games when they beat a very good Real Sociedad side, and you played very well on both legs against them. So, yeah, I mean, Luis Enrique's got that Champions League experience. PSG do not have that pedigree, but what PSG do have is that main guy. They do have that guy, the game changer. They do have a guy who can get them through for me, and that is Kylian Mbappe, as we know. Mbappe is that guy. It's his last season for PSG. The last time we see this guy in a PSG shirt in the Champions League as well, he's going to want to prove a point. He's going to want to prove a big point for them, and he's going to want to take them as far as possible. So that's a big, big factor for me. But let's talk about Barcelona as well, because we know they're not the same Barcelona as they were many, many years ago. They've got a totally different squad, a different manager in Xavi. Of course, this is his last Champions League. He will be managing for Barcelona, as we know. This is his last season. So again, lots of pressure is on him if he wants to go all the way and win this whole thing, just to have a good send-off when he does leave in the summer. But yeah, Barcelona, yeah, they're not the same Barcelona, but at the end of the day, right, they're still a good side. There's not against this. I mean, I've seen a lot of people sort of underestimate Barcelona a lot. You can never do that. I mean, they've still got some great players. Ter Stegen in goal, Alayuch, Jules Koundé, Frankie de Jong. I think they're going to have players like Pedri back. I don't think Gavi will be back, but I know they have Pedri back. Lamine Yamal, as we know, quality player.
Golski
front. He's getting older. It looks like he's past it, but he can still, for me, step up and deliver on the big stage. You got the likes of Ferran Torres as well, Rafinha. They've got some great players, Barcelona. They really do. So this one for me is very, very hard for me to predict. And obviously they beat Napoli in the last 16. They finished top of their group with FC Porto, as we know. We know Xavi in Champions League as a manager has failed 2 occasions now. He's managed to get out of the group and got to the quarterfinals. So I'm not entirely sure how far I see Barcelona going. But this game, I've got so many scenarios in my head. This is very, very tough to predict. I'm going to edge. I'm going to edge Barcelona, you know. Let's get into the next game. We've got my team, Arsenal. And we got FC Bayern München, as we know. Boy. I'm doing previews on my channel towards the game, doing more in depth in the game, but I'll give my quick thoughts on this blockbuster tie. FC Bayern München. We have history. We have big history. Yeah, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. 3 years in a row. 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. Humiliation. It's time for revenge. Harry Kane returns, as we know. You can never write off Harry Kane, and he loves to go against Arsenal. 14 goals he scored in his obviously against Arsenal. Highest ever player to do that out of any other club, any competition. So Harry Kane, and there's a bit of news that he's injured, but I'm sure he'll be back for the game. Bayern Munich is still Bayern Munich. As much they're doing awful in the Bundesliga and losing out to Leverkusen. You got Thomas Tuchel as a manager. They're losing faith in Tuchel. Their fans, of course, but they've still got some quality players. The likes of Harry Kane out front, the likes of Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry returns to face his former club in Arsenal. Joshua Kimmich, Leon Goretzka, Jamal Musiala, Kim Min-jae at centre back, Emil Nouri in goal. Quality players, to say the least. Emirates Stadium, a big factor to this, guys. There'll be no Bayern Munich fans allowed in the Emirates Stadium for the home leg. Arsenal should really fancy our chances, guys, in that first leg. And I think we do them in the first leg. I think we do beat them in the first leg. The thing that rides me the most is the second leg. Going away to Allianz Arena is going to be so tough. It's going to be hostile, and I'm worried. Going away to them, I'm worried because we've seen Arsenal in the away form in the Champions League is not great. You know, FC Porto, we lost 1-0. RC Lens, we lost 2-1. PSV, we drew 1-1. We beat Sevilla 2-1, but it was not a good performance, to say the least. When it comes to Arsenal playing away from home, it's going to be very tough indeed. Hostile atmosphere at home, going to Allianz Arena is what I'm worried about the most. If we can get, and this is why it's crucial, if we can get a good win, say like a 2-0 in the first leg, and then go second leg, and they've got to score at least 3 to beat us, I think we'll be all right. But if we don't get a good result in the first leg, I think it's over, honestly. I think it could be over. I'm backing my boy. I don't care if I'm biased.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Bias aside as well, because I'm an Arsenal fan. So there'll be no bias, I promise, guys. Real talk. I don't think I'm biased, guys.
Stop the cap.
Next up, Manchester City against Real Madrid. The repeat from last season, that 4-0 thrashing which Man City gave Real Madrid. Oh my days, I'm looking forward to this one. It's a shame that they put them on the same day as Arsenal and Bayern Munich game. I don't know why I've done that. So I can't even watch it. I'm going to have to watch Arsenal, of course. And I'm going to have to just catch your highlights for Madrid and Man City. But these quarterfinals, man, we got some treats to look forward to, guys. What a treat this will be. And it's no one where you can't wrap this head around for this one. It's very hard to predict. I'm in 2 minds to this one as well. We know Man City, you know, the holders, they deserve to win the Champions League last season. But this season, I think they're a side who have not been at their best this season. They have world-class players in Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez, Ruben Diaz. We know their quality is, you know, Bernardo Silva. We know their quality is insane. Pep Guardiola is a world-class manager. But I still think they've looked a bit shaky this season, even defensively this season as well. They've not looked at their best when it comes to, you know, they're leaking a few goals and their defense has looked a lot shaky this season. So, you know, that could be a big factor. Real Madrid is Real Madrid, guys. Simple as that. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. You know, they are gonna they're gonna be Real Madrid, man. You know, with Jude Bellingham coming in playing against Man City, I feel like he's gonna ball out. You know, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Tchouameni, you got Camavinga, Militao, who'll be back. You got Antonio Rudiger. This game, man, I'm going for Real Madrid. I'm actually going for Real Madrid. I do feel like they're gonna get revenge. Ancelotti will get his revenge, and Real Madrid will get their revenge for last year and knock out Man City to go to the semi-finals to face Arsenal. Let's get right into the semi-final prediction, guys. First game. These are, of course, from my results. First game semi-finals. Atletico Madrid against Barcelona. A La Liga clash. Simeone or Xavi to make the final, guys. This one, like, once again, we know the first leg for me, where it will be. I think it probably will be Atleti. So I think you have to give the first leg to Atletico. Second leg, Barca will probably come back. Again, I can see this kind of penalties as well. Really, I can see this kind of penalties. But you know who I've gone with? I've gone Simeone. I've gone for Atletico Madrid to make the Champions League final this season. They will beat Barcelona and make the Champions League final. Would it be Simeone's third? I think it'll be his first Champions League final because obviously he made 2 in the past, didn't he, with them? So we're going to see Atletico Madrid and Simeone make the UEFA Champions League final and knock out Barcelona. You know, they've done it before. I think they'll do it again. I don't think Barca is that side anymore. I don't think Barca, and I do see them struggling to beat Atletico. I mean, this season as well. Well, funny enough, they play tonight. The time I'm recording this right now, they actually play tonight. So we'll see what happens tonight. But they beat them 1-0, Barca. So they did get a good result. Of course, Joao Felix coming up against his former club, as we know. He's going to want a point to prove, but I see Simeone going on the way. I see the way how Atletico play is going to be a struggle for most teams. Going to play them away from home is going to be so tough for Barca. So I'm going to go with an Atletico win, and they're going to go through to the final. Arsenal and Real Madrid. Boy, if we somehow get past Bayern Munich, we'll have to face Real Madrid. Oh my days. See, even when we play them the Emirates, we're going to struggle against Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid, guys. It is honestly Real Madrid. I do not, and this is where my bias will come aside now. Real talk. I think we see one team progressing. I think Real Madrid progress for me. I hate to say it. Kills me to say it. But I think Real Madrid do progress to the to the final to face Atletico Madrid, and is what it is. I think, first leg we could put up a good fight, maybe get a draw, but second leg is where going away to there will be very, very tough. I've just spoke about Real Madrid, the quality they have, the mentality they have as well. Yeah, I think this is where the Champions League journey ends for Arsenal. So Wembley, it'll be an all Spanish final, all La Liga final. Atletico Madrid, Simeone against Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti, as we know. Now, this season, Atletico Madrid are the only side to beat Real Madrid. I think they beat them twice, haven't they, this season as well? Will they do it again? No, they won't. Real Madrid are my Champions League winners, guys. Real Madrid are my Champions League winners. As simple as that. They're going to win it yet again. They are my favourites to win it. Who I think I said it when the Champions League even started. Real Madrid will be the side to win this Champions League for me and go all the way. And I think Atletico will put up a good fight as they always do. I mean, we saw in the final when they went to penalties and obviously they lost in the last minute, didn't they? I think one of them went to penalties as well. So yeah, Atletico Madrid will come short, finish another silver medal for Simeone in the Champions League. Real Madrid will win. Ancelotti will win. Bellingham will win. Simple as that, guys. So that's my Champions League predictions. I'm going Real Madrid to win the whole thing. Let me know your thoughts down below. You may disagree with some, so let me know your thoughts down below. Who will win the Champions League? I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you guys for watching.